Today we graphed Mr. Davis's trip and the vocabulary and his distance, an amount of space between two things or people, displacement, the moving of something from its place or position, and 3 average speed, the total distance traveled divided by the total time elapsed, and number 4, average velocity, which is the displacement divided by total time.
And to the right is our graphical representation. So from the distance from the starting point, it's at 0, 0. And he walked about 2 minutes and covered about 200 meters. And then he walked about 50 meters back to the starting point. And then at the end, he walked another around 200 meters away from the starting point. That ended at 3:28 seconds.
Alright, so over here we have a representation up top of Mr. Davis's route. And so we labeled the main points D, C, B, A. And the 3 sections of his travels were from A to C continuously, then from C to B, and then finally from B to D. And so we found the distances for each little section of the trip. And based on the YouTube video, we calculated or we measured how much time he took for each section, as well as the distance that it took for the sections. And to find the distance, we just added together the segments, the corresponding segments. And for our data, we got that for the entire trip, which was a total of 350 meters in terms of displacement, which means the distance from A to D, in 208 seconds, resulted in an average velocity of 1.68 meters per second. But the total distance, which was from A to C, and then adding 49.1 again from C to B, and then adding 49.1 again to 143.3 from B to D, that total distance traveled was 448.2 meters, and the time again is in 208 seconds. So that resulted in an average speed of 2.15 meters per second. And so for the first part, which was from A to C, the total distance was 206.7 meters in 120 seconds, and that gave an average speed and velocity of 1.72 meters per second. And the speed and the velocity are the same because there's no change in distance. And then when he went from C to B, he did 49.1 meters in 40 seconds, and so that gave an average velocity and speed of 1.23 meters per second. And then finally for the third part, 192.4 meters in 48 seconds, that gave the fastest average velocity and speed in 4.01 meters per second. So our results show that he probably, he went fastest in the beginning, and then he sort of slowed down when going backwards, and then finally he took like a quick jog or something for the last part. Alright, and that is it. Okay. Thank you for choosing our video and sticking with it this long. Okay.